Hey Ben, good morning. Good morning, Ben, and everybody else. I'm not supposed to be on this morning. When I woke up earlier than expected on my own, and I'm like, let's get a wild hair up my ass. So I've got to wake up the missus at 6. So that's what I have. I have about an hour and 8 minutes. So I foregoed, I forego. I did not have breakfast. I just had what's left of the Starbucks from yesterday. Liquid motivation. And let's get something done. Let's get something accomplished. I have to go on a road trip today to go see my daughter about 2.5 hours away. So that's what we're doing today. But no reason we can't do something productive before then. Got pieces of a T26 here. We've got those guys here. We're gonna go ahead and do the. Let me think what order we need to do this. Dry brush these guys. And yeah, let's go ahead and do the two color tones on here. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm here for, is to get stuff done. I've had a very hard time staying awake in the evenings. Very hard time. So I think I made it. I think I fell asleep a couple times in the feed yesterday. Which is, this hobby is supposed to relax you, not stress you out. So I guess that's a good thing. But nonetheless, that was not planned. All right, let's get. And I'm gonna have two alarms that'll go off. The first one's my normal one at 5 in 7 minutes. We will just ignore that one. Well, we won't ignore it. We'll turn that bitch off. And then the one at 6 is, we got to cut that one off. That's when we have to shut down. So, hey, it's better than not getting a painting session in. So that's why we called it a quickie. Hopefully, you didn't get too excited with me trying to give you a quickie, but here's my version of a quickie. Yeah, I've been having trouble staying awake, and then I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning for 5 minutes, go back to sleep. I feel like I'm getting enough rest, which I guess is better than it used to be, but I'm sleeping more than my usual 5 hours. A lot more than that, actually. So what's new, Ben? What are you working on this morning? Or this... It's still morning for you. It's almost tea and crumpet time for you. I don't know if that's afternoon or the morning. I don't know when the hell you guys drink tea and crumpets. And I love English tea, as long as it's cold. I can't do warm tea. I don't need anything to warm me. If I lived in the UK, I'd have to skip whatever meal that is that involves having those freaking beans in the morning. I'm not eating that or that black pudding. No, sorry. We'll just skip right through that. I'll have breakfast in France, okay? And when they start eating the fucking snails and shit like that, I'll come back to the UK. I'll commute for food. There you go. I've never eaten snails, and I won't on principle. And I'm not eating bugs. Somebody told me, oh, they went to some country and said, oh, they got these chocolate covered bugs. First of all, I'm not a chocolate fan. Second of all, I ain't eating no damn bug. I ate bugs accidentally on a bike when I was a kid, I'm sure. You're a kid riding a bike and tiny little thing flew in your mouth. I'm not eating a big bug. No. Sorry, I didn't go to college to eat bugs. So typical wargaming butterflying. No entiendo. Don't tell me that heart took everything out of context. No, so typical wargaming. I don't see the next word. Butterflying. I'm actually not a very difficult eater, but there's just some things I'm just not going to eat. Ain't gonna do it. What's the redneck equivalent of to the English? You know, we've got the redneck thing here. What's the redneck equivalent to the English? Is it Australia? I don't know. Maybe there isn't one. I missed an entire message. Okay, I need to switch this. Okay, it's on. See, when I start this up, it starts on top chat. I don't ask it to do that. Let's put it on live chat. All right, let's see what you really said. Typical war. I did. It still didn't come up. There's no message there. Live chat. All messages are visible. You literally have 3 messages on here. I don't have anything else. I'm sorry. A million pardons. I don't see it on there. These were the T28s. And we'll set these to the side and let those dry a little bit before we start carving them up. Might have hidden it because I said rat and then Arab. Oh, are we being... There's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only time that counts. I know, it's all about Greenwich. Yeah. How about the only time that counts in the U.S.? You can't say rat and Arab. Oh, I never did these. Okay, where is... We need to... No, I don't. We can just pass this one around like... Yeah. Just remember, if stuff's banned that you guys say, not me doing it. You guys know how to behave. You don't need to be banned. You can say whatever you want in this country, or used to be able to. I'm old school. You can still do things you used to be able to. Big Brother. Big Brother doesn't know how to pay their bills. Why should I listen to anything they have to say? Oh, here it is. Some jackass put it over there. I need to have him make this room jackass proof. The thing everybody seems to be complaining about these days locally is our roads. That's the problem with taxes. There's people that just don't like paying taxes. And there's some of us that, don't like paying them because they don't spend them right. Like, this money's for the roads. Okay, so fix the roads. Oh, we don't have any money for fixing the roads. What'd you do with it? What'd you do with that fucking money? What'd you do with it? Idiots. Like how I was saying, Viking and Arab. Really strange because I posted it twice, didn't get through to the end. I don't know. We're being watched. Good. Maybe some people can learn something. Like how to paint, you damn bots. These bots can learn how to paint. Actually, I should talk about work. Then they could go into work for me and I can sit home and paint. Wouldn't that be something? I just don't ever see myself being one of those people that's like, well, I tried being retired for about 3 months and then I was bored. So then I had to go get a job. Not this guy. I may get bored of doing this and may, do something else on the side, but gardening, I don't know. That's unlikely. But if you're bored of your hobby, if you're bored of having hobbies and need to go to work, and it's not because you can't pay your bills, okay? Assuming your bills are taken care of, you got the wrong hobby, pal. I would not do my job for free. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. All right. I'm thinking this is probably too big. It is. All right. It's time to clean some brushes. This is the right size one for the dry brushing that we're going to do on the T26 options. The options of the T26. The money goes to paying debt. By 2030, national debt alone is supposed to be the entire GDP of Illinois. Yeah. Well, you look at the debt. Apparently, nobody wants to pay it. You look at the debt; it's all just funny money. They always talk about how the debt is so high here in the U.S., and it is, okay, but it's so high everywhere else too, including China. Well, who knows what their numbers really mean? So, like, if everybody's if everybody's in the same boat and you're just playing a shell game, does it really mean anything? I don't know. The problem isn't that you get into this kind of debt. The problem is that they don't have any real solutions, and it's just like when they had the whole COVID debacle. And I've created this term. I don't know if you're on here. I said there's BC, right, for dates. There's BC, there's AD, and then there's PC, post COVID. Everything post COVID sucks. Okay. I don't want to go on cruises. I don't want to be negative, but I'm not going to put up with this. Oh, things cost 25% more and they suck 400% more. I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. That's 20-man unit of Zanzibaris pulled out ready for basing. You said Zanzibaris, and the first thing I thought of was way back in the day of the miniatures page. There's miniatures that I get excited about sometimes that This looks really good. I'm surprised to distracted myself at this distance. I sometimes see miniatures that excite me, but I have no intention of buying them. Like the 28 millimeter stuff from War Games Foundry. I mean, they do all that Darkest Africa and stuff. Some of their marketing is just really, really, I don't know, that's probably old school, but this is probably 20 years ago. But I remember going on the miniatures page and going through their catalog and stuff, and I really like the sculpting. A lot of that stuff is in. At Zanzibari, there's a group of guys here in town not here in town, at our convention in Orlando, that always run Darkest Africa stuff, and they're always doing those native hunts and things like that. I've actually never played the white people in that game. I always play the natives. You can play white. I play white people all the time. So even in real life. So, I'm always playing something different, when you never get a chance to play somebody like Chuck Spears or something like that. You have 70% of the Darkest Africa range. I don't know who the sculptor is, but I like that guy. Yes, I assume his gender. There are some female sculptors, but that do historical stuff? I don't think so. There's probably as many women historical sculptors as there are women historical gamers, and it's a shame, but don't blame me. There's no straight men in the fabric store either. Till I show up. I'm just documenting facts, or perceptions, anyways. That is the real reason. That's the real reason I kept score in all my DVA games, because perception is reality. So if you don't document what's really happening, you don't know how many games you've won. So all right, we're gonna add a little bit of dark sand. I got this idea from somebody online. I forget who it is. Might be the sledgehammer dude. It was a good idea. I wouldn't have thought of it. I would have just added white. I didn't know any better, Mark Copplestone. Okay, he's the one that has the wolves in 15 millimeter that I have. Sculpted them. He actually added a few extra packs after he left Foundry. So the Zanzibaris are from his own outfit. Have you tried the Foundry paints? Do you like them? Hopefully you said yes to the first one. Not that I want you to dislike them, but they look awfully like... Well, the Japanese tank didn't deserve that field gray. Freaking Nazis. They can't even drop an eye on their allies. They look like the same containers as Cote d'Arms. And I wonder if the container is the same thing. What are they like? What are they like compared to Cote d'Arms? I've seen them at game conventions. The triad things. I mean, I'm not doing the triad method, but I wouldn't mind buying a few, because you get the other colors. I just don't know where I'd store them. Well, they'd have to be up here. We don't have space for you guys. Sorry, that's Vallejo land. That's Vallejo land. Land of Vallejo. No, I haven't had any Foundry paints yet. I should buy a triad and see what I think of them. I would think they'd be the same if they're the same as a Cote d'Arms. Cote d'Arms are the best paints. End of story. Maybe not for airbrushing, but for this, love them. They're almost oily, and I mean it in a good way. They're really, really good. But I'm just not going to buy paint sight unseen, All right, so we're going to add a little bit of this dark sand. I didn't have breakfast either, so we're cranked up on black coffee and Starbucks black coffee. It's like you could go by a graveyard and pour this on a gravestones. It'd come out of there. I don't know what the hell's in here, but this is like probably like cocaine light. It's okay as long as it's not marijuana light. I'm here to do shit, not sit around and eat my way, eat even more. Although I have a discount with Colonel Bill's, believe it or not, I know what that is. I might get some of Coat the Arms. I need a reliable yellow and white. Well, maybe we should watch reviews. Certainly somebody's reviewed the paints online. You got to take people's reviews with a grain of salt. Everybody has different experiences. Colonel Bill's, yeah. I have that at a hot link sometime. It's something to find. They got quite a few 20 millimeter stuff on there. His prices seem to be pretty reasonable. Nobody wants to do 20 millimeter stuff anymore. Certainly nobody in the States. Well, F them. I don't care. I'm doing the scale I want to do. Japanese make movies with schoolgirls and Uzis and zombies. I do 20 millimeter tanks. All right, where's the hull? Oh, it's this one. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to weather it on top of it. Let's not take that too far because then we have to dial it back down. Yeah, I don't know how I found Colonel Bill's one time, but I'm like, this is a very difficult website to find. We better hot link this, as I like to call it. Save the page. Never ordered anything from him, but last time I looked on there, he had a ton of like Hinchcliffe tanks. I went to the model meeting this last week and I said something that I bet they had never heard before. I bet these people at the model meeting have never heard this what I'm about to tell you. And I don't know that it's really controversial, but it is something I have said multiple times on this channel is I get a thrill out of I don't go out and do this specifically, but I don't like to keep up with the Joneses. Like let's say is a Stuka you want. Okay, I'll use a Stuka for example, and they keep coming out with better models of the Stuka. I mean like quality wise of the miniature or the model or whatever, and I keep buying the best one. Like you're just going to be miserable your whole freaking life. So what I said to them is sometimes, and I was talking about one of these models I brought with them, which was not very good at all. I said sometimes it's a thrill building something that is a piece of crap that everybody agrees is a piece of crap, not one that punishes you. That's you got to do so much work to, but one that's not the best, and pretty it up, and then people will go, man, that really does look pretty good. I said it's kind of a thrill to paint or to build something that everybody's glossed over. Like, yeah, no, nobody wants that. That's been around forever. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to build an old Airfix kit. Apparently, they were downplaying the old Airfix models. Well, I built some of those. So I wouldn't mind building some of the old models. And I'm like, man, that's pretty good. What is that? Oh, this is this old kit you didn't think two shits about. Just give it some respect. I mean, if I built a modern one, the modern one would look better. But I'm just saying, I also need a replacement for the old Tester's dull coat for brush on matte varnish. This one's getting low these days. Do they not make this in the UK? Hold on. ¿Dónde está? No? They stopped making it? See, this is the problem right here. This is the problem right here. Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum. They freaking shut all the freaking product lines down. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Made in the USA. Great. Let's make something in the USA and then discontinue it. Assholes. Good Lord, I just found about 30 British sailors to paint and have 60 force publique. I got it at Christmas. You thought testers stopped making the dull coat altogether. They did the spray stuff. I don't know if they did the brush on one. I don't care. I'll go acrylic. That's why one of the reasons I bought the airbrush. Although I want to use that stuff I just showed you for figures. You're going to scare me, and I'm going to have to go to Hobby Lobby and buy all of them that they have left. Because I like using that for figures, because hard figures. Because it's like an eggshell, like thickness. It's thick. So I don't mind doing acrylic. I just don't want to put like 3 coats of it. I want to do one and done. Give yourself the challenge of build the Airfix Churchill. I tried. I actually have one, and I couldn't finish it because something happened with the tracks. It's not that bad. You know, the worst thing about the Churchill is, and good morning to you, Jeffrey. The worst thing about the Churchill is, and this is the problem with some of these small kits, is that all the damn little road wheels, it's not that there's so many of them, it's that where do you hold it when you're trying to cut the things off? It's just too damn small. And I don't feel like I have a problem holding small things. Don't go there. It's just, the reality is it's just a pain in the ass. I mean, you know, I'd have to use this Stickum stuff and things like that, you know, but yeah, I did. It's a vehicle that doesn't really work for me in 1/76 scale because the barrel is too thin. And it's probably to scale, but it's okay. I have one. I'm not going to be able to finish it because I had one from way back when. And it's one of the few vehicles that I'm not going to be able to finish because of that. We'll buy the plastic Soldier Company ones if we need Churchills. My jar is pre-Rust-Oleum, must be ancient. Well, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm tired of these mergers where the consumer gets fucked. I'm tired of these mergers where the consumer gets fucked. Imagine if there was one, somebody gave me this, or maybe I bought this stuff. Remember the old Testors glue? This is the new one. They don't have a little square bottle anymore. They have these. It smells god awful. I don't even know why I still have this. I should throw it away. It smells horrible. You know, because there's some things that don't smell like this. The Tamiya glue. I don't want to huff this, but it doesn't smell bad. You know, it's not like it's a terrible smell. You know, it's just like the difference between a fart and dog shit. There's a difference between the two. There's another low-flying helicopter. I don't know what it is about this place, and this is kind of in the country. There's always low-flying helicopters here. Anybody know where I can get a 20 mil? Big Brother's coming because I said something bad about the imperial federal government. Oh, man. Well, move to round bottles, which are less economical to transport. I wonder who picks up the tab for that one. Yeah. If I went to the cool thing about the model meeting is those guys are really airplane centric. So at some point, and it may not be, it'll probably be this year. I'm going to get an airplane model. I don't know which one it'll be, and I'm going to do it. And play their game. But I want it to be something I can use, with this. Like, a wreck of a Yak 1 or something like that. No, I don't want to do wrecks, but one of the things I do like about them, and I remember this, was that they do this show and tell thing, and they talk about the stuff, the model that they have, and they're really big into the history. So they'll talk about the pilot and whatever, and I like that, because, that's why you do historical stuff, but that's why I do historical stuff, because of the history. I'll tell you one thing it won't be. It won't be a vacuform kit. I took a look at one of those 20 years ago or 30 years ago, and it was like, oh dear God. That's worse than putting one of those balsa wood kits that use the dope. Dope in the cloth. No. I should do a P40. That was the first model I ever built. Was a Flying Tigers. Was it a Flying Tigers P4? It was so long ago that it came with the nationalist Chinese insignia. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I remember being like a 10-year-old, going, what the hell is, what is this? It's a cool symbol, but what the hell is this? This isn't a U.S. symbol. So here's where you can take this. Here's where you can see the scale difference. I could be wrong in what I'm about to say, but look at the turrets on the front of this T-28, which is a 187 scale. And look at this turret, which goes on the T-26. I suspect they're the same size in real life, but there you can tell what the difference is. Face of Battle would be great for a raid on an airfield. It really is a pretty decent game. I need to go out and I just don't want to run a game of it with me fumbling through and it take even longer than it is, because I used to play a naval game that was called Sea Creek 4, and we played it hundreds of times, which is a very small amount of times compared to DBA. But it's pretty complicated. But we were in a rhythm. It's not pretty complicated. It's multifaceted, and I feel like Face of Battle is the same way. Face of Battle I feel like is the same way. It's the rules make sense. They're percentile. That alone makes sense to me. What are the chances of this happening You roll a percentile dice. That's what it is. It's, you know, it all makes sense. So yeah, I take it you watched the review that link that I put where somebody actually did a review on they did a pretty good job of explaining what it is, and you know, it's an excuse to play with the toys. You know, I don't think that's oh, we got to do lace scratches next. What I call lace scratches. Yeah, we'll do it on this cardboard. If it dries out, we'll just mix more. I just feel like being lazy today, not overthinking about stuff. Raid on an airfield. Now, I remember in that Stuka Pilot book where he talks about landing to go pick up somebody. Could do that, but I don't want to read his book again. Once I found out he was still a card-carrying Nazi, I don't want to read his shit. That's all I remember about him, is that he drank milk. What kind of a Nazi drinks fucking milk? Didn't see that video. Whose channel? It's not a video. It's a thing. I'll find it for you. So if you do, it's worth a read. It is an easy read. So we're gonna do a search here. Oh, I so much love just having it on the computer. Why can't I block like all political stuff? I don't care about this stuff. Okay, we're gonna do a search for the face of battle rules. Just a Google search, the face of battle. No, not John Keegan's book, which I actually have, and he bored me. He jumped around too much. It didn't confuse me, but he jumped around too much. Face of battle rules. Okay. And it's literally the very first thing that comes up. It's a WordPress link that starts off the rules we use. The face of modern battle, which is a spin-off of Face of Battle. It's the same thing. And look for it's an HTTPS DHS War Games blog WordPress. And this is what the site looks. Read through that. They actually do a better job than I could do explaining how it is. I don't know who this guy is, but man, you did a good job, sir. Anyhow. But I think the only way I'm ever going to get through it is just get the rules out and just do a session like this. Like we're going to read about whatever and just do it out in public, you know, because otherwise I'm just not going to stay engaged. You know, Mitch can't come here on days I'm off. So it's not like, okay, Mitch is going to come and work our way through the rules. I just need a sounding board is what it is. It's not that complicated. Like I need somebody to figure it out. It's not DBA. These rules make friggin' sense. It's just I need a sounding board. And then we're going to look for some markings for this Flammenwerfer. But anyways, that guy did a really good job of explaining things. Not one of my stronger suits. Unless it's directions. I'm really good at directions, and I mean like navigating directions. That is the thing I am the best at. More than anything else. And it just coincidentally is one of the things I do at work. Just coincidentally. But work didn't make me better at them. I got that gift from my dad. That's my superpower. Not getting lost. Let's put a couple little different variations in color here. I don't know what kind of marking options we're going to find with a T-26 with this turret, but I'm sure there's some. Okay, nothing crazy, and then a little bit here. But what really dawned on me, and there's a couple things that never really dawned on me before. Well, one of the things that's dawned on me is, you might want to play World War II, but I can't play rapid fire because the narrative that's going to play in the game is not a narrative I want to see. It's not detailed enough. You know? Oh, Ben, you probably weren't on here, but I decided to try a game that I've had for a while. And it's one of them free pay to win bullshit games. They're bullshit because I don't spend the money on them, because, it's just nonsense. But it's called Enlisted. And what's unique about it is that it's a first person shooter, but when you show up with a unit, it's a group of guys, and you can switch between them. And it's nothing incredible. It's nothing that's never been done before. But you can have vehicles. And man, there was some funny. I was at one point where I started playing. I'm like, all right, let's give this a shot on the new Series X or whatever the hell that thing's called. Most misnamed console ever. But it's incredible. The graphics are incredible. Of course, they ruin you from playing anything else. You can't play things of lesser things after doing that. But anyways, I'm sitting there in the living room playing it, and I'm laughing. And my wife's behind me just wondering what the hell's wrong with me. Just the funny stuff. I encountered a Panzer II, and I'm playing some Russian rifleman. And this guy, he's got a Panzer II, and the turret's pointed that way, so I climb on the Panzer II. I don't have any grenades or anything. And this guy kept popping his head up, and I ended up hitting him with a rifle butt, taking him out, and just several things ended up happening that were just really funny movie moments that I really appreciated. But you could actually play Japanese in there, and it's just something for, when you don't spend any money on those games, you can walk away from them and not feel bad. Not like, man, I shouldn't have bought that. I didn't get my money's worth. Well, you didn't pay anything for it. Other than the download time. The problem is those pay-to-win games have so much noise from the standpoint of, if you go on the Weather Channel, there's so many things that don't apply to you. Like, you can get this, but you got to pay this money. So you have to kind of detox from all that stuff and realize those messages really aren't for you because you're not going to pay any money for them. Even if you go on something like Roll the Tanks, there's still all kinds of noise. Hey, you can get this. Oh no, that uses gold. All right, how do I get gold? All right, gold stuff that you actually have to spend real money to get. Well, okay, I don't do that. So why are you showing that to me? They're trying to entice me. Well, that doesn't work on me. I don't mind paying money for a game, but I don't want to be this, hey, you're continually paying money for it. Like, yeah, no. I'm old school. It didn't exist back then. Okay, so we've got this. Let's look for markings for an OT 130. That's what this thing is called. All right, so we're going to look for OT 130. Let's just do one OT 130 tank. Let's see what we got here. And images. And see if something jumps out at me. Sure, we'll go to the tank encyclopedia. And we'll visit it. Ooh, I like this. Now here's actually a paint scheme that's, I guess, supposed to be winter. Actually doesn't look bad. I'm not going to do that one, but that an OT 26? Well, that's an interesting single barrel thing. Let's visit this, see what we have on here. Oh, hold on. What's this one first? Well, here's one that's camouflaged. Well, we can't do that one because this is just a turret. That's the modification. Oh, this looks legit. I should paint it in that color. Holy primer green, Batman. If Nickelodeon had a tank. Let's visit the tank encyclopedia. Okay, so this is the flamethrower, and the other one is a machine gun. No, I don't want the finished ones. They got captured. Here's some that are based on the later version of the turret. I've got actually two of those to build. So seems like there's a fair amount of interesting nomenclature. Okay. We won't bore people with reading that right now. Okay, if we don't get anywhere with this, Okay, here's a couple of the later ones. I'm actually going to save this photo for when I do the other ones. I'd do that camouflage one, but then it goes with the bottom of this. This is just a turret option change, so that's not a good fit for that. All right, so we're gonna go with OT-130 tank decals. Let's see if we get anything with that. Okay, star decal makes a set. That's a finished one. That's also a finished one. No, I'm not interested in finished ones. More finished ones. Okay, here is one from Mirage that has the top of it is in white. I wonder why they did that. Maybe we'll visit and see what that has. Actually, no sprue diagrams, really not needed, very nice looking. Da, 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 da. OT-130. All right, well, don't make me go to ScaleMates, I will. All right. This is actually one of the things I enjoy doing the most, is trying to figure out OT-130 as opposed to 133 tank. All right, let's go to this Mirage one and see if they decided to put a copy of the instructions. They did not. Okay, let's go to this Hobby Boss one. There's no instructions in that one. Okay, how about this one? Also no instructions. Okay, Skiff. Oh, is that the brand? This is the brand of the things that I have? This Skokyo is actually Skiff. Interesting. Well, I have some of them. They are very challenging to assemble with the photo etch stuff. Let's download these instructions. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to put them together. It just means they're challenging. Okay, this has this 279 symbol and a star. Oh, this is with battles in Finland in 1940. All right, we won't do that. Finished, and again with the finished decals. Okay, let's look at it's the same instructions for that. Okay, well, I may just have to do my own take on it. This has a red star. We'll put a little red star on it. I'm always a fan of putting red star on things. I don't know why this doesn't have the... You know, I like this one. It has the top part of the turret in white. You know, there's some examples here, but they're all the later turreted one. Okay, so we'll put a little red star on it, and then we'll use a number. It's not 279. What happened here? I think I got little red stars left. That I don't want to hand paint. It would just take too long. Good morning, Marcus. Yep, I'll only be on for another 11 minutes. Sorry. I wish that wasn't the case, but I got up early and figured let's do something positive. I think I got red stars that are that small. I do, but they got the little hammer and sickle in them. Let's see. Let's see if I got other ones. These are the ones that came from the pre-mill models, which almost look like a Star of David. They're like fat stars. Oh, they're all one decal. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, let's do these ones that have the hammer and sickle in the middle of them. They're the right size. If I don't use them, I'm never going to use them. Nice. I thought something went right there, didn't. I don't know if I'll get a chance to do them this morning. I gotta wait for that to dry. We'll at least cut them out and get them ready. Yeah, if I don't use these for this, what the hell am I going to use them for? We'll use these. Let's use these bigger ones. Oh, those are for post-war. Well, these guys are ahead of their time. Maybe it'll look good. Maybe it'll look like shit. Could take them off. I could paint over the center of them. How about them apples? Honestly, that's actually something I could do. I could just paint over the center of them. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Yep. for that to dry. Or is it dry already? Let's push the pawn. I have the little hollow stars. I could also paint those over as well. Just need a guide. I mean, it's not like, you know, I just don't want to tinker. Oh, that side needs to be a little bit longer. Oh, do that leg a little bit long. You know, you'd be there all day, you know, just doing that. The lovely smell of vinegar. Somebody actually liked the smell of vinegar. I don't like it, but there's worse smelling things. I still have a childhood scare, young adult scare when I worked at a grocery store way back in the late 80s. And there were several bottles of apple cider vinegar that broke. They were glass. And it broke in the aisle, and holy smokes, that stunk. Maybe these aren't too big. Maybe they are. Yep. What is this paint that's on here? There we go. Union of Socialist Fuckwads, whatever the hell it is. Not letting me grab the tip. Like I said yesterday, I like the red stars. Hammer and sickle shit, not a fan. Okay, it's not letting me grab this. Something happened to these tweezers, and I was always able to do that before. I don't really like sliding them on. Where do these little bits of paint come from? Jeez. What happened here last night? I don't think it's too big. We'll have to see how that dries, and if that hammer and sickle bothers me, I'll just paint the center of it. And the problem with sliding it on is I need space for this to sit next to it, and I don't have that. So I much prefer to pick them off. That's what I've always done. I'm usually, you know, if you have a plane or something like that has a big wing, that's different, but come on. Oh, we have a floater. You know, the problem is these tips, somehow, something must have gotten bent out just a wee bit. All right, let's see if that did it. Here we go. Must have gotten bent out of. Yeah, this is, you just pick it up and frickin' move it where you want it. Yeah, I don't like the hammer and sickle there. It just doesn't look like I've ever seen. We'll just paint the center of it. Not a big deal. Okay, and then we're going to put a number out here on the side. I don't know what number it'll be. It won't be 279. Maybe it's 278. And how many minutes we got, if any? 2 minutes. Okay. Anyway, so I just figured, hey, let's get something productive done this morning. Instead of sitting around and sleeping, that's a waste of time. But you like the smell of vinegar. Also the smell of petrol and dry tobacco. I heard somebody liked the smell of petrol. I thought they were crazy. So now you have a wingman. Some people like the smell of a certain herb that burns. And I'm like, that smells terrible. That smells like roadkill. So, the MJ stuff. Smells like it ran over a skunk to me. But I actually heard about somebody who did not like the smell of, wait for it, coffee. No, coffee smells good. Coffee smells a lot better than it tastes. I drink it because it's liquid motivation. It's black cocaine. Black cocaine light. But anyways, I figured we could get something productive done this morning, and we did. So I've got to go on a road trip, a couple hours away, go visit the daughter for the day, and then I'll be back, but too late to do a show. So anyways, enjoy your Sunday, what's left of it, and we'll see you guys definitely